Don't feel bad because we were once incredible. We were great warriors. Let's do it again. Let's go take whatever we need to take. Let's be the powerhouse that we've always been. We had so much livestock. We were amazing. And we pissed God off a little bit, but we were incredible. Hey folks, welcome to Joel Reads Bible. I'm Joel and I read Bible. Why? So that you don't have to. We are in Deuteronomy, and let me just say, I am loving it. Because I've turned over a new leaf. I'm trying to be a lot more positive. And two, we've been doing some pretty good recapping. And by the way, if the Bible keeps up this pace of look, we're just going to do story after story after story in a recap sort of thing. And we're not going to do tons of genealogies and tons of boring laws and all this horrible stuff. If they hired a new writer and the writer's I'm done with the boring stuff. Let's just do story, man. I'm all for it. I think I could really get into the rest of the Bible if it's going to be, again, at this pace. I'm not saying it's breakneck. But it's pretty good. When I read some of this stuff, I'm I'd like for them to flesh this out a little bit. I'd like for them to explain a little bit more. I mean, we have these stories, but there's a few added details that are what? The people who are the descendants of Esau, interesting. So it hasn't been absolutely horrible and miserable. And at the end of every chapter now, I've been saying what I loved about the chapter and what I hate. So stick around for that. This is a little bit of an encouragement to try to get people to watch the whole entire episode. Should I be telling people that? Should I be telling them what the trick is to keep engagement? Maybe I should just do it and not. But I'm that honest. I'm that honest. So just to trick you into watching the whole episode, I will be telling you at the end of the chapter what I actually absolutely loathed about the chapter and what totally turned me on and what made me so hot for this book / specific chapter. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Deuteronomy chapter 3. This is, of course, just to give you a heads up, if you haven't been paying attention, go watch chapter 1 and 2. This is the third installment of Moses in an old folks' home, recounting from the lazy boy all of their escapades. So Moses is doing the narration. Then we turned and went up the way to Bashan. Og, the king of Bashan, came out against us, he and all his people, to battle at Idri. Yahweh said to me, "Don't fear him, for I have delivered him with all his people and his land into your hand. You shall do to him as you did to Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon." So Yahweh, our God, also delivered into our hand Og, the king of Bashan, and all his people. We struck him until no one was left to him remaining. We took all his cities at that time. There was not a city which we didn't take from them. 60 cities. All the region of Argob, the kingdom of Og in Bashan. All these were cities fortified with high walls, gates, and bars, in addition to a great many villages without walls. We utterly destroyed them, as we did the Sihon king of Heshbon, utterly destroying every inhabited city with women and the little ones. Don't repeat it. Moses, don't go on about it. When you've done something horrific, don't keep going on about it. Shut up. Once in a while, you killed all the women and children. Not every time. Every time. Moses, you're making everyone look bad. And the thing is, you're proud of it. That's what sucks. You're proud of it. You're sitting there going, hey, we killed all the women and children. Which this is the really funny thing about this. This is what's really, really, really funny. All these cities were fortified with high walls, gates, and bars, in addition to a great many villages without walls. All of them were completely fortified. They had huge walls, and we're so great. We broke down the walls. And then there was a bunch of villages without walls, of course, yeah. And we killed all the women and the children. We killed the defenseless people and cities. It's just like one of our things. Was that wrong? Some of the cities were big, and we killed a lot of men too. But yeah, there was like some just like innocent, defenseless people who, were probably just slaves and property in their own right. And we just like totally killed them in villages that didn't even have any protection. Was that wrong? But all the livestock and the plunder of the cities we took for plunder ourselves. We took the land at that time out of the hand of the 2 kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, from the valley of the Arnon to Mount Hermon. The Sidonians call Hermon Syrian, and the Amorites call it Sinir. We took all the cities of the plain, and all Gilead, and all Bashan, to Salecha and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og, in Bashan. For only Og, king of Bashan, remained of the remnant of the Rephaim. Behold, his bedstead was a bedstead of iron. Isn't it Rabbah of the children of Ammon? 9 cubits was its length, and 4 cubits was its width, after the cubit of a man. This is starting to make me wonder, why do we keep mentioning the Rephaim, which are Nephilim, right? Like, these are giants, and we're getting the I don't know what 9 cubits is. I'm sure it's super long, right? Describing this giant guy. These are big people. So the fact that God is helping us overcome them makes God seem really great and makes us seem really powerful and all the rest of it. So we make the enemy larger than life, quite literally, so that we look better and so that our God looks better when we defeat them. They're not quite human. They're super, super evil, which isn't really described here as much, but we're going to get that biblical apologetic built into the text later. And God helped us overcome these super duper big people. I think those are the elements that are going on here. This land we took in possession at that time from Eror, which is by the valley of Arnon, and half the hill country of Gilead with its cities I gave to the Reubenites and to the Gadites, and the rest of Gilead and all Bashan, the kingdom of Og, I gave to the half-tribe of Manasseh, all the region of Argob, even all Bashan. The same is called the land of Rephaim. Jar, the son of Manasseh, took all the region of Argob to the border of the Geshurites and the Maacathites, and called them even Bashan after his own name, Havoth Jar, to this day. I don't think it's called Havoth Jar anymore. That's just not true. But probably to the day that this was written, I guess. I gave Gilead to Machir. To the Reubenites and to the Gadites I gave from Gilead, even to the valley of the Arnon, the middle of the valley and its border, even to the river Jabbok, which is the border of the children of Ammon, the Arabah also, and the Jordan and its border from Chinnereth, even to the sea of Arabah, the salt sea under the slopes of Pisgah eastward. This is getting into some of the stuff that I hate. Like, I do not care about place names. Like, when I know this stuff and it's not an interesting story, it's like, I hate you. I commanded you at that time, saying, Yahweh your God has given you this land to possess it. All of you men of valor shall pass over armed before your brothers, the children of Israel, your wives and your little ones and your livestock. I know that you have much livestock, shall live in your cities, which I have given you, until Yahweh gives rest to your brothers as to you. And they also possess the land which Yahweh, your God, gives them beyond the Jordan. Then you shall each return to his own possession, which I have given you. It's funny that as the parenthetical, I know that you have much livestock. It's kind of like a brag. You guys are so rich. You're doing so well. You're incredible. You're great people. And if this is written like way, way, way after it was meant to have happened, this is written in like 500 BCE or something like that. And it's happened, I think, like 2300. I think I read somewhere, something like that. They're telling the story and they're going, look how rich we were. Look how incredibly filthy rich and successful we were. Everyone was scared of us. We were able to take any land because of Yahweh. And now as we leave Babylon, because we were in captivity, don't feel bad because we were once incredible. We were great warriors. Let's do it again. Let's go take whatever we need to take. Let's be the powerhouse that we've always been. We had so much livestock. We were amazing. We pissed God off a little bit, but we were incredible. And then the other thing I noticed was, but your wives and your little ones. And when you see your little ones here, they're going to care for these little ones, right? Like your wives, they're your possessions, but we know that from other passages. And your little ones, they shall live in your cities, which I have given you. You have a place for your little ones. It sounds sweet. It sounds nurturing. It sounds wholesome. And in the previous chapter, it's like, we killed their women and their little ones. It's like, wow, you guys know the significance of the little ones. Sometimes it's like, are you guys so emotionless? You're so jaded and scarred. You don't even know what like a family means. You don't know how to love. You don't know how to be a father or a parent of any kind, and to actually care about another person. But they know they get it. They have their little ones that they want to keep safe in their city, that they want to protect, and they want to grow old. They love their family. I'm maybe adding a bit there, but I think that must be true. But then they're like so happy to completely annihilate the little ones of these other cultures. It kind of makes the other part feel more gross. You know, it would be better if they were just Vikings or something. They knew nothing of caring for their little ones. They didn't understand any of that humanity. They were just husks going and killing. Unfortunately, they know what it's like to have a family. I commanded Joshua at that time, saying, your eyes have seen all that Yahweh your God has done to these two kings. So shall Yahweh do to all the kingdoms where you go. You shall not fear them, for Yahweh your God himself fights for you. I begged Yahweh at that time, saying, Lord Yahweh, you have begun to show your servant your greatness and your strong hand. For what God is there in heaven or in earth that can do works like yours and mighty acts like yours? Please let me go over and see the good land that is beyond the Jordan, the fine mountain and Lebanon. Little note here, and I know it's Moses saying it, so take it with a grain of salt. But for what God is there in heaven or in earth that can do works like yours? We know there's a God in heaven that can. It's God. But is there another God in heaven? Is there lesser gods in heaven? We know there's lesser gods on earth because God judges them, the gods of Egypt, right? The people at the time were heno or henotheistic. where they believed in multiple gods, but Yahweh was the big one. Could we believe that in heaven, like in the sky, over the mountain, high above the firmament, that there are more gods than just Yahweh? It's a little hint. Now, the only reason why I believe that the book is telling us that there are many other gods on earth, like the gods of Egypt are real gods, real deities of some kind, is because Yahweh says he's going to judge them. So when it's Moses saying it, Moses could just be completely mistaken, and this isn't something that may be true at all. I would want Yahweh to quote it, and then I would commit to the narrative believing this. Obviously, none of it's true, but to know what the people here believe to be true, I feel like I need Yahweh to say it. But chances are the people did have this idea of multiple gods in some other place called heaven or what, beyond the sky as they knew it. But Yahweh was angry with me because of you and didn't listen to me. You guys, you got him angry again. And Yahweh said to me, he's not listening, but he's going to talk to him. That is enough. Speak no more to me of this matter. Go up to the top of Pisgah and lift up your eyes westward and northward and southward and eastward and see with your eyes, for you shall not go over this Jordan. But commission Joshua and encourage him and strengthen him, for he shall go over before his people, and he shall cause them to inherit the land which you shall see. So we stayed in the valley near Beth Peor. So that's interesting. So this is something I've known since I was a Christian. I remember this little story. And it's interesting that I do remember it, that it was kind of told to me in such a way that was memorable. This was a few chapters ago where Moses got in trouble for hitting the rock. We don't know if it was anger or what it was, not believing. He just didn't do exactly what Yahweh told him to do. He didn't obey to the letter. He smashed it. He called the people rebels. And now he can't go into the promised land. What a bummer. But God's like, hey, you can climb up on that mountain and you can look and you can see the land where your people are going to live. I don't know. It feels like rubbing it in his face a little bit, doesn't it? It's just go look at the land. You're never going to go there. All this work for nothing. He didn't even want to do this, by the way. He was just I'm not interested. I was a prince of Egypt or whatever. Killed a guy. Didn't really love all the slavery stuff. Now, all your work is, you're going to die in the desert. You hit a rock. You didn't obey directly. Up yours. What a less fun chapter. We've had a couple of really good chapters. This one was less fun. What did I absolutely love about it? I love that we got more Rephaim. I like that we got the description of the size of the bed and that it was made out of iron. It had to be strong to hold this guy. I like the introduction kind of to the language of beyond the Jordan, which ends up showing up in a lot of gospel songs, which I remember from when I was a Christian, down by the Jordan River, all that Jordan stuff. This is being repeated, which I can see why they made it into songs. I think that Lebanon is also just a beautiful word that I've heard in songs. So I kind of like it. It's kind of romanticized. So I would say that I appreciated those elements in the story. What I didn't love, what I kind of hated, was the place names and kind of the boring repetition stuff. And I get that would be maybe interesting to some people and a good recap for some people, but for me it was kind of I don't care. And so that was what I would say I hated. And that Yahweh's such a jerk that he has Moses go look at the place he's never going to get to go and rubs it in his face. What a prick. Honestly, he is. But that's it. That's chapter Deuteronomy 3. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe, like this video, and leave me a comment, and we'll see you next time. Bye.